Forgive me, Dr. Jacobs. Are you an MD?
A PhD.
A PhD?
Yes, sir.
In psychology?
No, sir.
Theology?
No.
Social work?
I have a PhD in English literature.
I'm asking because on your show, people call in for advice, and you go by the name Dr. Jacobs on your show, and I didn't know if maybe your listeners were confused by that and assumed you had advanced training in psychology, theology, or healthcare.
I don't believe they are confused, no, sir.
Good. I like your show. I like how you call homosexuality an abomination.
I don't say homosexuality is an abomination, Mr. President. The Bible does.
Yes, it does. Leviticus
18:22.
Chapter and verse. I wanted to ask you a couple of questions while I had you here. I'm interested in selling my youngest daughter into slavery, as sanctioned in Exodus 21:7. She's a Georgetown sophomore, speaks fluent Italian, always cleared the table when it was her turn. What would a good price for her be? While thinking about that, can I ask another? My chief of staff, Leo McGarry, insists on working on the Sabbath. Exodus 35:2 clearly says he should be put to death. Am I morally obligated to kill him myself, or is it okay to call the police? Here's one that's really important, because we've got a lot of sports fans in this town. Touching the skin of a dead pig makes one unclean, Leviticus 11:7. If they promise to wear gloves, can the Washington Redskins still play football? Can Notre Dame? Can West Point? Does the whole town really have to be together to stone my brother John for planting different crops side by side? Can I burn my mother in a small family gathering for wearing garments made from two different threads? Think about those questions, would you? One last thing. While you may be mistaking this for your monthly meeting of the ignorant tight-ass club, in this building when the president stands, nobody sits.
You didn't do it in a
Toby.
tablet right away. You did it in...
Yes, Mr. President.
That's how I beat him.
You didn't do it in a... You didn't do it in a tablet right away. You did it in the phone. What was the... I mean, did you consider doing a tablet when you did the iPhone, or was it just a natural progression? The iPhone came out, it was a big hit?
I'll actually tell you kind of a secret.
Okay.
Okay.
I actually started on the tablet first.
Really?
And I had this idea of being able to get rid of the keyboard, type on a multi-touch glass display. And I asked our folks, could we come up with a multi-touch display that we could type on, I could rest my hands on and actually type on. And about 6 months later, they called me in and showed me this prototype display. And it was amazing. And I gave it to one of our guys. This was in the early 90s. I mean, early 2000s.
2000s, yeah.
And I gave it to one of our other really brilliant UI folks. And he called me back a few weeks later, and he had inertial scrolling working and a few other things. Now, we were thinking about building a phone at that time. And when I saw the rubber band, inertial scrolling, and a few of the other things, I thought, my God, we can build a phone out of this. And I put the tablet project on the shelf because the phone was more important. And we went and took the next several years and did the iPhone.
So, and then...
And when we got our wind back and thought we could take on something next, pulled the tablet off the shelf, took everything we learned from the phone, and went back to work on the tablet.
So what he's trying to say, his secret is when he would ask someone to help him, they would. More than likely they would help him. And this is before he became the big man. Now, I've noticed I have like 200-300 hours of clips and songs and things I use in between when I speak to give my voice a break. I've noticed this theme of the light overcoming the dark, or, point of confrontation. What do you say to the darkness? Because right now it's dark for people that have children with autism, for people that have loved ones affected by vaccine injury. What do we say to it? We tell it to move. Perfect love casts out all fear. Not that I'm an overly religious person, but I like using certain sayings that are good for us. Now, I'm going to play a couple clips that are confrontational. I played them, and even one from former Representative Burton, with the federal government's reaction to the rise in autism, November 29, 2012. He had played a clip, and it was powerful. It was about an autistic boy who was going back and forth. Obviously, it looked like it was late at night. He was in pain. He couldn't tell his parents what was wrong. And he was stimming. He was using that yodel effect. His hands were flapping. And I'm reminded when I watched that clip with the video attached to it, not just the audio clip, of myself in deep, deep pain when words really wouldn't work, and I would hit my fist against the bed. Anything to divert me from the pain I was feeling. And I think that's what a number of our kids are going through when they stim late at night. Perhaps it's the food causing inflammation in their system. Perhaps it's a gut problem causing problems neurologically with the brain. I think I'm going to play that clip first and then play the others. And then I'm going to play a lighthearted song because I realize we're all getting older. Representative Burton.
A lot of people don't know.
Retired.
And before I make my opening statement, I want you to see what happens to a child who becomes autistic. And I want you to bear in mind why I feel so strongly about this. Because my grandson was a normal child, and 2 days after, he got 9 shots in one day, several of which contained thimerosal, mercury, 40-some times the amount that was tolerable in an adult. He started acting exactly like this child. And this is what parents are going through all across this country, and they have no recourse. I want you to see what these parents are going through with these kids.
He is walking back and forth, hands flapping, pain in his face by contortions in his face. No help for him. How do you pinpoint the pain when he cannot speak?
I could let you watch more of that, but I think you get the general idea. Now, my grandson and thousands of children across this country were normal kids. They got vaccinated with multiple vaccines, and mercury in the brain has a cumulative effect. All scientists will tell you that. It doesn't wash out easily. It gets in the fatty tissues, and it stays there. And so it has a cumulative effect. And yet, we continue to get reports that say there's no scientific evidence that mercury causes autism. They don't say it doesn't. They say we can't conclusively prove that mercury causes autism. They don't say it doesn't.
Christy Diamond from Uninformed Consent.
Yes.
From the Simpsonwood meeting.
Okay. I have about 20 minutes left, a little under 20. So that was retired Congressman, it's playing again, sorry. Retired Congressman Burton, when he was helping with the Oversight Committee, the federal government's reaction to the rise in autism. If you want to hear the entire 3-hour program, please go to the C-SPAN library. They have a search engine. Put in November 29, 2012, federal government reaction to the rise in autism. And you can hear the whole 3 hours. Earlier I played about, maybe 40 minutes of highlights from the hearing. If you want, you can listen in archives and listen to that. I've done a series of programs saying listen while you tweet. One's called Stress Relief. That's a little bit funny. I was cracking up a little bit. I needed to let some steam off. So for those that are still listening. Okay, I'm going to play the rest of, there's hundreds of them. I'm going to play 2 more clips that I hope will inspire you in a song that is so funny by Lisa Koch.
I should have locked you up.
The Color Purple.
Just let you out to work.
The jail you planned for me is the one you're gonna rot in.
That's right.
See, get in the car. Get in the car.
I hope the CDC rots. That's just my personal thought.
Everything you've done to me.
Come on,
already
Whoopi.
done to you.
That's true. What you put out comes back to you. I feel sorry for you, CDC.
I'm poor, black. I may even be ugly, but dear God, I'm here.
You're free. I like that clip. It's given me inspiration and encouragement throughout my life. This is from the movie Taken. It's the phone speech. Sometimes I think, and I have called the CDC. I actually talked to 2 nice people there once. Just 2. Maybe they're not all bad. But I like this. I like listening to clips like this. It inspires me. When I write, I like to listen to all different types of audio. And this is one of the pieces I like to listen to. It's under a minute. Hang with me.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. If you let my daughter go now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
Good luck.
It is time for women to stop being polite. We must be vocal and protect our children, our nation's children. This is what we're fighting for. We're fighting for civil medical rights, to repeal the 1986 Vaccine Compensation Act. Now, to lighten the mood up, and we have about 15 minutes left before my podcast ends, and I have to go to sleep. I have a service to go to tomorrow. And I want you to listen to this song. If you're a woman that is aging, if you have kids, you're aging. They age you. This is a funny song by Lisa Koch.
Please welcome the wonderful, the talented Lisa Koch.
This is a song I would like to dedicate to Vicki.
It's about